If you're so exhausted that even the idea of self-care feels like one more thing to do on your to-do list, the reason may be that most self-care advice was never actually built for a woman running on empty. In this video, I'll show you what actually helped me, and it's not what you think. There was a time in my life when people would tell me to practice self-care. And honestly, I wanted to scream because every article said the same things. Set boundaries, say no, build a routine, journal your feelings, and go to therapy. I'm not knocking any of that. But the problem with all of that is every single piece of advice assumed I had something left to work with. Energy to set a boundary. Words to explain why I needed one. The mental space to build a routine and actually stick to it. I didn't have any of that. I was completely empty. And when you're that empty, just set better boundaries doesn't feel like help. It feels like one more thing that I can fail at. So I didn't do any of those things. Not because I was lazy or I was in denial, but because physically I couldn't. What I did instead was, well, it's kind of embarrassing, but I lit a candle. I watched the sunrise on my way to work. I watched the sunset in the evenings, drinking a cup of coffee. That was it. That was the whole practice. All I did for a long, long time. If any of this sounds familiar, if you're nodding along right now because you're just as empty as I was, I want you to know you don't have to figure this out alone. I built a free worksheet. It's called the 5 Small Things Method, and it's built on exactly this same principle. Small, doable practices for a woman who has nothing left to give. It's completely free, and the link is right below this video. Grab it if you need somewhere gentle to start and small and easy. I think almost everything out there gets the order backwards. It tells you to build boundaries and routines first, and then healing will follow. But for a woman who's truly running on empty, that's not where recovery starts, because it can't be, because there's no capacity left to be able to do it. Recovery starts smaller than that. It starts with noticing a candle, a sky, a few quiet minutes on the back porch, and not ask anything of you. Noticing is not a warm up before the real work. It's the real work. It's the first step. Nobody talks about, because it doesn't look like progress. It just looks like sitting still. So if you're in that place right now, like if you're empty and not just busy, here's what I actually want you to do. I don't want you to build a system. I don't want you to set a boundary today. Just notice one small thing. Maybe it's 5 minutes of sitting somewhere where quiet is, doing absolutely nothing. Maybe it's giving yourself permission to leave the dishes and go to bed. Maybe it's finding one small comfort you return to, something you love, a warm drink, a few minutes with a view, something soft wrapped around your shoulders and cozy. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It just has to make sense to you and ask nothing of you. You don't need a system to heal. You don't need to earn your rest by fixing your whole life first. You just need permission to notice one small thing today, and to trust that this, not a boundary, not a checklist, is where coming back to yourself actually begins. Be gentle with yourself. I'll see you next time.